Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is my first ever video. I've been wanting to make a channel for a while now. Decided to call it Detroit Tigers Weekly, although I'm not really certain how often I'll upload just yet. Hopefully once a week. Well, first, a little bit about me. I was born just after the last Tigers championship of 1984. So if you ever want to hurt me, just mention they've never won it in my lifetime. That sucks. Um, I grew up loving watching the '90s Tigers, especially Cecil Fielder. The '90s were perhaps similar to the 2023 Tigers in that they weren't that competitive, but it was kind of a melancholy time for the team. Watching the end to the great career of Miguel Cabrera. Back then, it was a similar feeling. The farewells of Trammell and Whitaker, Kirk Gibson, Sparky Anderson, and of course Tiger Stadium itself. I was lucky enough to get to go to a number of games at that old park. But let's move forward to the present. I wanted my first video to actually be a summary of the current Tigers offseason. Players start reporting the spring training soon. The roster does seem to be mostly finalized. There could still be a possible surprise move in store. And if so, that'd be a future video for sure. I'm not going to go much into like the coaching staff changes or the broadcast booth either. First, let's talk about the subtractions. Mentioned gone from last year's team was Miguel Cabrera. Also, Matt Boyd, Jose Cisnero, Tyler Alexander, Zach Short, Eduardo Rodriguez, Austin Meadows, Spencer Turnbull, Tyler Nevin, and Nick Maton. The first edition of the offseason was back on November 4th when the Tigers traded prospect Blake Holub to the Brewers for left field Mark Canha. Canha is a veteran outfielder who will be playing in his age 35 season. He is signed only for this season only. What is the team getting in Canha? Well, here's his stats. He's known as a contact hitter who has good bat skills and decent in the outfield as well. He doesn't swing and miss much, which is expected to be a big part of the team's hitting philosophy moving forward. He feels a little bit like the Robbie Grossman signing from 2021, except Canha has never come close to 20 stolen bases like Robbie had that year. He's seen as a reliable, low-risk acquisition. The only risk perhaps being his age. He's been very consistent year over year, but 35 is an age where a lot of players see decline in their game, so it is possible. The prospect loss, though, could always be recouped at the deadline by trading Canha as well. Here's his baseball savant. You can see his peaks are his chase rate, his strikeout rate, his walk rate, that kind of thing, being on base. The next addition was signing veteran pitcher Kenta Maeda to a 2-year deal from the Twins. He'll be turning 36 soon and has had some injury issues the past couple of seasons. You can see the innings there kind of stand out. He did have Tommy John surgery as a part of that, though. In general, he does have solid stuff when he is on the mound, even though he's not really typically a fireballer. His baseball savant, you can see off-speed stuff. His best pitches are his splitter and his slider. The Tigers are really hoping he can step in and eat some innings this year. That's the key with how injured the pitching staff has been. They just need someone who's healthy and on the mound. With losing Rodriguez, perhaps Kenta can be the number 2 starter. It remains to be seen if he'll be as good as Eduardo. Maybe. I mean, even if his ERA numbers aren't that good, even if they come up by a full run, but he's healthy the whole season, they'll take that. And it is kind of exciting to see the Tigers attract some Japanese talent. It seemed like for years the team just didn't even know how to find Japan on a map, but I guess they've discovered it. The next move was a reunion. Reliever Andrew Chafin. Chafin pitched well for the Tigers in 2022 before leaving the team He had kind of a rough 2023. The Tigers are hoping he can bounce back while being more comfortable on the mound in Detroit and back close to home with his family. He admitted that was part of his struggles, was being away from his family. He was in Arizona and Milwaukee, and he statistically has alternated good and bad seasons over the past 4 years. So maybe he's due for a solid one. We pretty much know what he brings to the table. Um, Tyler Holton was pretty much the only lefty standing in the pen last year. They tried other guys out, Chasing Shreve and stuff that didn't work. So Chafin will be another lefty to help him out. Hopefully, he's closer to his 2022 form. And then they would continue to tinker with the pitching by adding free agent starter Jack Flaherty. Flaherty is a pitcher who was seen as a breakout starter back several years ago, but the last two have just not been good. The signing is only for 1 year as a sort of prove it deal. It does feel similar to the signings of Boyd and the Reds in last offseason, where he slots into the bottom of the rotation and reestablishes himself. Maybe they'll flip him at the deadline as well, because it is only that 1 year. And finally, they added another veteran pitcher in Shelby Miller. Shelby is another pitcher who was seen as a promising young pitcher whose career fell apart, but this time he wasn't very good over about a 4-year span instead of only two. He had a decent bid in the Dodgers bullpen last year, so hopefully he has found some comfort out there, although it was not very many innings. So, well, it's wait and see. Like Baseball Savant basically doesn't even have enough data on him. The good thing is it's not really an expensive contract. If it doesn't work out, I could see the team designating this contract for assignment, and it wouldn't be seen as that big of a deal. And the biggest surprise of the offseason might just be the big extension given to prospect Colt Keith. Colt has been working his way up through the minors since being drafted in 2020. It was kind of seen on the cusp of a call-up already for 2024, but this pretty much solidifies his chances of making the team, possibly as a starting second base or third base for this year and beyond. Extending young players like that is outside of the Tigers' norm, and if it works out, maybe they still start doing it more and more in the coming years, which is very exciting. And his stats, he no major league at bats yet, so that's his minor league stats that were as solid as they can be. But that's a wrap for now. Thanks for sticking around. In the next video, I'll look at the potential Tigers lineup for this season. Maybe after that, probably look into the pitching staff.